Are you ready for some more Outriders news updates? Because we've got a lot to go over in this video because People Can Fly, the dev team working on Outriders, has been busy answering new questions. We're going to be talking about the potential of seeing a battle pass for this franchise, new comments from the dev team on that one. Plus, they go on to talk about the legendary drop rates for this game, how exactly that works with the world tiers, and also what about multiplayer scaling and gear level caps when it comes to playing solo versus co-op. Plus, there's an interesting tidbit here from the dev team about sensitivity changing while shooting down sights in the game, and also an interesting deal going on for those of you that still want to purchase Outriders on Xbox. You don't want to miss that. So let's go over the latest happenings around this game. Hey everyone, what's happening? Overworld Games here. Hope you're doing good, and let's dive straight in first to this article right here from gamingbolt.com. It says, Outriders dev on the lack of microtransactions. We wanted to take the old school approach. Now, there's new comments in here that have not been highlighted. We're going to go ahead and skip ahead to that. Now, they go on to say this. They went on to say that though there is a chance that People Can Fly adds battle passes or something similar to the game down the road, that will still be tied with bigger components for players who want to experience more of the game rather than revolving around smaller microtransactions. Now, this is what People Can Fly said. They said, of course, it doesn't close for us the option in the future to just add a battle pass or other similar content, but not like microtransactions. It would be more like the bigger components that can help those players who want to go deeper into our world play in that world. But until then, we will have what we have created, and that is enough. Do we want to build our own world and mechanics? Sure, but not in the form of microtransactions. So again, excellent news that they are not going after microtransactions. Such a relief there. But what do you all think about a battle pass? Now, with a battle pass, of course, what that would do with Outriders is that it would further secure the future of this franchise, of course, and it would enable People Can Fly to actually support their game and continue creating content, of course. But right now, they're actually taking the Diablo approach going forward as we look at some of the Trickster skill tree. By the way, I love this class. But anyway, yeah, it seems like they want to do bigger expansions in that regard in comparison to Diablo right now. But again, sound off. How do you feel about some sort of battle pass? Would you be willing to support something like that in the future of this game, as long as they are transparent about what they want to do with that, because they've been super transparent so far. But yeah, that is what they had to say about the battle pass. Now let's go on and see what they had to say about legendary loot and drop rates. Here is the thread out on Twitter. The only Shadow Blades goes on to say this. Is there an easier way to get legendaries? I've grinded that captain for so long and I still haven't been able to receive a legendary. Mungle says it's RNG, man. Looter shooter at its finest. I got 4 legendaries in 40 captain runs, including 2 in a row, and then didn't get any more until about the 300th. One guy got 4 in 1,000 captains, so gives you an idea. You can see the willingness here to grind the demo. Now, there are some comments here from Can't Seem, who says this: the legendary drop rate is wrong. Then at tier 5, you have a 25% chance to get a legendary. I know people are farming that specific enemy, but even still, it shouldn't be that ridiculous. Now, we have an official reply finally from Outriders social media team, who says this: 25% of the base legendary chance, which is already very low. Not 25% of drops will be legendaries. World tiers determine drop rates. You're locked at to world tier 5 in the demo, of course. There are 15 world tiers. There are additional replies here as well. This is the most interesting one in my mind. Prismic says this: it's 25% more chance of base level drop. So if base level is 1%, it's only an example. Then in world tier 5, you've got 1.25% of chances to drop legendary loot. So that's a great example there on exactly how the legendary drop rates are working. You're going to want to definitely get your way up to the higher world tiers. Of course, the game is going to be more difficult, but that means you're going to have to get a really solid team to help you out on your adventure in Outriders. Again, they have said that you can really complete the game solo if you want to, but I think, you know, you're going to want a team. That's just my assessment with this game. Now, there was an interesting post right here about multiplayer and scaling and gear level caps. We have the reply here from People Can Fly Powell, who says this: I won't go into much details here, but here are some basics on how playing with friends works. After Prologue, there's no restriction on playing with friends, regardless on level and world tier difference. Matchmaker is built to match players with relatively similar power, but with the join function, there is no limit other than technical ones. World state is based on host. This includes world tiers and final enemy levels. When play on lower tier, your gear remains legal. It's the highest unlocked gear level that what counts. There is no gear scaling regardless of level difference. Loot and rewards are based on level of killed enemies. Now it says, in essence, that means that you can go to someone on much lower level and world tier, or lower your own world tier and be absolutely godlike, but it's not very effective in terms of advancing your own character. All of the above is subject to change, of course. So there you have some comments on exactly how the world tier actually works, and how, of course, legendary drop rates work as well. So this mechanic could potentially be adjusted in the future, so just remember that as well. We'll see what happens there. Now we have more comments here. This is an interesting thread for sure about sensitivity changing while shooting. And we have the comment here from Powell, who says this: I'll just drop in really quick here. It's a feature, not a bug. Essentially, the longer you hold the trigger, the more recoil gun amass and becomes more difficult to control, therefore sensitivity lowers. The idea behind it is that yes, you can do very long bursts with certain weapons, but it also has a price in accuracy and lowered ease of use. Short controlled bursts are rewarded with more accuracy at the cost of time to kill, which you can compensate by with headshots. It's also set per weapon variant, so maybe it's just specific variant that is too difficult. I'll add looking at this to this in my list, but it's a long list at the moment. So yeah, they're looking into that as well. Let me know if you guys have problems with the sensitivity adjusting when you are firing your weapon, of course. I've had minimal issues with this, and I have noticed that, you know, from a distance, bursting is key. But again, you know, even in the gameplay demonstrations, like the official gameplay demonstrations, they encourage you, of course, to be super aggressive in this game. So honestly, I get in there with my shotgun a lot of times, and then keep my distance with my assault rifle. Now, for those of you wondering, there is actually a deal going on for Outriders on Xbox. This is really interesting if you plan to keep your pre-order instead of going with Game Pass. So let's take a look at this deal right here. It says, for purchasers on Xbox starting on 3/21, there will be an offer for 6,000 Microsoft reward points for buying Outriders. It says this: for those of you without Game Pass or still purchasing it regardless, there will be an offer for 6,000 Microsoft reward points, roughly about $6 depending on how you redeem the points for buying the game. The offer is showing up in the Microsoft Rewards app right now, but it says it doesn't start until 3/21. Some parts of the world are already on the 21st, but for those of us, excuse me, still living the 20th, you may want to wait until tomorrow to be safe. Activate the card in the Microsoft Rewards app before making your purchase. So it says this: the purchase must be completed through the Microsoft Store on Xbox or Windows, and you will need to be logged in to Microsoft account, as if that's what the rewards are tied to. No idea if you can do guest checkout, just making it clear. So yeah, this offer is also good until April 12th. So check it out. Let me know if that's something that interests you. But yeah, all sorts of cool stuff going on with Xbox and Outriders right now. And again, you know, they had the update for the demo on Xbox recently drop behind PS5, PS4, and PC, and it was like significantly delayed. That is not going to be the case going forward for Xbox fans, just to let you know. Now, there are some notable issues going on right now. We're going to be talking about that right here. It says, impossible join friends since the update, and it says, as the title says, since the update, when I try to join friend's world, he don't get a notification that I'm joining, and my screen stops at 50%, and I got a notification saying impossible to connect to host. So when my friend tries to come into the world, it does the same. And there's some replies here saying we are having a similar issue on PC. There's another thread that just popped up saying co-op with friends is still buggy, connection lost at 80%. We're waiting for a reply from People Can Fly on this one. Hopefully they can nail down what is going on with the recent connection issues with Outriders. I don't know if this is something that's rare. If it's happening to you, let me know. Sound off in the comments below so People Can Fly can become aware of this potential issue right now. Now, let's go over your top comments. Be sure to leave a comment down below for a chance for it to end up in a future video. So let's do this. My recent video was called This Outriders Just Did the Impossible. Huge update. People Can Fly save the game. There was a big issue with the game that I was really worried about, where inventory could be potentially deleted, like your legendaries could just suddenly disappear. They have said that they have fixed this according to them, and they're tracking it, and it looks like it is fixed. Also, they're offering the ability to restore your items here. You can watch that previous video as well in the description below, or you can find it on the channel. But let's see what you guys had to say about this. Jordan Stokes says this: I thought this meant people that characters could fly, and he's referring to the title right here, People Can Fly. So it seems like some people thought that there was an ability to fly that was introduced into the game. Anyway, Steve Smith says, underrated developers, I'm liking them a lot. I pre-ordered to support them. That is freaking awesome, Steve. Now, Mikkel says, we've been burned before by other companies, but this gives me hope that they care about making a good game. The goal should be to make a good game. Profit will follow. If your goal is profit, you can easily forget about making the game good. Well said right there. Real Shaglar says this: I love that they fixed the bug. I'm totally amazed and stunned that they are planning on trying to restore items lost in a free demo. Not even a purchased game. Wow. I mean, I know that you take your progress into live from the demo, but still, yeah, they're very serious. And I have some theories as to why they're doing it now, because they're practicing. I feel like they're practicing on their free demo, their current pool of players, and they're getting used to their own systems and getting ready for any type of thing that could appear in the final version of the game. So they're like, yeah, we already did that. We already fixed that issue in the demo. It's going to be easier to fix now with the full game, which excites me that they are doing this now and not during a launch. You know what I mean? They're getting it done now. So that is really cool. Now, furthermore, we have Justin King who says this: awesome, these guys rule the gaming world. I really hope they succeed. Vinny9500 says, you don't need to fast travel or initiate a trade to autosave. Just open up the pause menu, and after a second or instantaneously, you will see a yellow autosave next to the exit game option. Nice! So that's a really good tip right there as well. Chad says, People Can Fly setting the standards. This is great. Now, when other devs pull some BS, we can call them out on it. Robert says, if I'm going to be honest, I didn't even know the camera was shaking until I heard it in a video. Not only that, most people watch cutscenes once and never again, so I don't see why it's such a problem. Robert, that's kind of how I feel about the shaky cutscene. I only noticed it when it was mentioned. That's just my personal opinion, but I guess it bothers, I don't know if it's a lot of you or some of you. Sound off in the comments below as well. All right. So thank you so much for watching. That does it for the latest update and happenings around People Can Fly's Outriders. No, people cannot fly in the game. It's just that's the dev team. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more Outriders news updates. I am going to keep you guys in the know as to what is going on, of course, with Cyberpunk 2077. We did get that recent update about patch 1.2. I'm going to keep you guys updated about that as well. But right now, Outriders is really on the forefront of my coverage. I am totally enjoying this game and, of course, covering it. It looks super promising. You guys know that I was very upset about what happened with Anthem, and to see that Anthem Next was completely gutted and canceled the way they did that. That was some BS. So I am super hyped once again for this game, and I hope, just hope, that they nail it. But thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all next time. Take care.